happened to us? We've turned into the fuddy-duddies who now tell the younger generation that they're reckless and they just act as if they're immortal. What the hell has happened? We've gotten safe in our little bubbles that we've created, and we've completely lost our initiative to take risk, to be fearless, to try new things. So what the hell has happened to us? Honestly, we could sit here for hours talking about what the hell has happened to us. And the reality of it is everybody has issues that have happened to them. Everybody has other people's stories inside their head. Everybody has other people's limited thinking. Everybody has their fears, their experiences from whatever's happened up until now that has locked us up to just stay in our safe little bubbles that we know the outcome of. But if you're finally tired of your own shit, here are 5 different ways to get unstuck. And if you're starting over in your life, hit that follow button. I share some great insights. So how do you get unstuck? Getting clear of what you want, shutting up the voices in your head, and taking action are 3 pretty big steps. But let's rewind and get it a little bit more focused. So 1, let's quiet those thoughts of other people's. Yes, we have experiences. Yes, we know people who are trying to keep us safe and tell us that we'd be better off if we just stuck to the program of what society wants. To keep working for somebody else, that it doesn't really matter if you don't enjoy your job because you're able to pay for the things that you want, even if you don't get to enjoy the things that you have bought. Figuring out the priorities and allowing the fixation of the priorities to overrun those little stories. More often than not, the scenarios we create inside of our heads aren't even legit, and it's just a safety mechanism that our subconscious has brought forth to keep us where we know we can live. That's my scientific term for it. But it's real. How many times have you started something or wanted to start something and you get these little side quotations of the little voice inside your head saying, oh, there's no way, that just can't happen. All these little excuses when you don't even know until you try. Shutting down that nonsense is a good first starter. That would lead us into number 2, which is actually making a decision. You get rid of all the voices, you get rid of all the excuses, and then you're able to make a decision. You're able to take action on something that you're interested in. Not making a decision is still making a decision. So if you are truly tired of your shit and you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do, make the decision to try something new. Make a decision to change something that hasn't been working. You have fixated on all the things that haven't worked for so long that now, once you realize that there is a problem, refocus your attention on how to create the solution. Start overthinking how things could be better, and then do something about it. Finding out what the problem is like pulling all the ingredients out for a sandwich and then just staring at them. You have the ingredients, you know the problems, so in order to eat, to feed that hunger that you have, you must put them all together and continue the process. By making the decision, taking action on it, you're going to bring clarity as to what's going to make you happy moving forward. The time you spend wallowing around on how everything is so difficult can be more beneficial and productive by brainstorming and taking action in new ways to grow from. Now, while you're making these decisions, give yourself a little credit and don't jump into anything through desperation. Be aware of the desperation. When you get tired of your own shit, it's an indicator something needs to change. But don't jump ship without floaties. Don't put yourself into a desperate situation where you're grasping hold of anything that shows up. Desperation brings erratic decisions. Desperation causes you to react rather than respond to the emotions that have risen. Desperation causes you to spend more time dealing with problems rather than finding real solutions. One way to save yourself from desperate decisions is to understand your values. What has worked in the past is not what's going to get you to where you want to be in the future. Your values will give you a sort of roadmap to figure out what direction it is that's going to align with where you want to move forward to. It's your clarity. It's your little gold nuggets that keep everything in focus. There's a lot of noise out here, and while one thing might work for one, it could be completely different than what's actually going to work for you. I suggest taking some time to get clear on at least 3 different values. Take an afternoon, take a couple days, understand what is really going to drive you. And because you're not in desperation, then you can create goals and deadlines to try out these new values. Action brings clarity, and until you experiment, you'll never know what's really going to make you happy. I have found that looking at starting over as a science experiment. From past starting over, I always did the same thing over and over again and pretty much got the same outcome. Shocking. So now, starting over, I'm figuring out that you have to try new things in order to get a new outcome. So get curious. Allow yourself to experiment. And the last thing I'll say is stop comparing yourself. Comparison is the killer of all joy. It's not a race with anyone else except for who you were yesterday. Those people that you see who have what it is you want, those are the people who took action while you were sitting back wherever you were, when you were contemplating what it was you wanted. Be grateful. Model what's worked for those. Use them as proof that it's possible for you to be where you want to go. So while you're sitting there wallowing about how everybody else has what they want, comparing your story to somebody else's, taking the action, finding the clarity will get you further along than the next bum. Those people that you're comparing yourself to are ones who have went through the motions. They've experimented themselves. They've created and found out what actually works for them. Use them as a mentor. Model what's worked for them. Find more people that are where you want to be and start hanging out around them. You become the person of the top 5 people you hang out with. So if you really want to change, find the people that are going to rub off on you. At the end of the day, the choice is always yours. It's just up to you to commit to a decision. So what fears are holding you back? Say it out loud. See how silly it sounds out in the atmosphere. And let me know in the comments, what decision are you committing to? Until next time.